Yes. Hi everyone and welcome to my presentation. I'm Daniel Johnson, Associate Professor in Periodontology in Malmö University. The abstract I'm presenting is entitled Periodontal Disease is Associated with Larger Carotid Plaque Area. And this has been a collaboration between Malmö University and the dental faculty together with the medical faculty at Lund University, and also with the regional dentistry here in Skåne. The hypothesis between the association of carotid plaque and cardiovascular disease and periodontal disease is of course the large ulcerated area that you have in periodontal disease, and how that is sort of the open gate for bacteria and bacterial products into the bloodstream. And you have probably seen this classical study from Denmark indicating that people with periodontal disease may even have bacteremias from chewing and from so this here is on chewing, and this is from toothbrushing. And the carotid plaque, this is depicting a healthy carotid artery, and here with some plaque. And intima media thickness has been measured previously, and with intima media thickness you have a specific place in the carotid artery that you measure the width of. When you measure carotid plaque area, then you take into account all of the carotid plaque and all of the area of carotid plaque that you have in a larger frame. So it goes down a bit like this, that you have the carotid plaque here in the artery, and then you may have one plaque area here, and you may have several plaques as you have here. And then when you measure the area, you put together all the plaques in one or both carotids, or you measure one at a time. And you use ultrasound for that. And this is a very good review and a systemic meta-analysis of intima media thickness and the association of intima media thickness with periodontal disease. And there has been several studies indicating there is a strong relationship here. However, there are several studies indicating that carotid plaque area is a way more accurate predictor of coronary artery disease events than intima media thickness. So the aim for this study was to investigate if signs of periodontal disease are associated with the occurrence and size of carotid plaque and total plaque area, TPA. So to do this, we have the Malmö Offspring study, which is participants of children and grandchildren of the participants in Malmö Diet Cancer study. And they were investigated for any endpoints and surrogate markers for atherosclerotic plaque, cancer, type 2 diabetes, dementia, gastrointestinal disease, and cancers, especially atherosclerotic disease and type 2 diabetes. There's a diet questionnaire as well. There's SNP arrays, which is GWAS. Gut microbiome is analyzed as well. In Malmö Offspring Dental study, the participants of Malmö Offspring study were asked to come to the dental school to be clinically, have their dental health recorded clinically. And we measured markers for periodontal disease and caries. We will also analyze the oral microbiome, and we are looking at saliva omics in different ways. And So we originate from the Malmö diet cancer study conducted in the 90s, and the subset here were re-examined for cardiovascular phenotype. And we then have Malmö offspring study that has examined today more than 5,000 participants. And there was a interim half-time analysis of 2,643 participants. And the Malmö offspring dental study, 1,020 participants have been recruited. 830 of those were in the interim analysis, and 450 of those are from the children generation. And the reason why the children generation is specifically more interesting is due to the fact that they were the ones that that did the carotid ultrasound. The grandchildren didn't do that because there are not that many people that have carotid plaque in the younger age. So this is some of the characteristics of the children generation of the participants in Malmö offspring dental study. So 495 of them. Age around 50, about half of them were women and men. BMI 26.7, so relatively slim cohort. Mean BMI, or percentage of people with BMI more than 30 was 22. Waist-hip ratio 0.88. Participants with carotid plaque about 63%. Fasting plasma glucose levels of 5.6. Diabetes or fasting plasma glucose levels more than 7 was 6.1%. LDL cholesterol mean value of 3.4. No periodontitis in 61.8% of the participants. Moderate periodontitis 28, severe 10. Daily smokers 8%, occasional 5.7. Former smokers 35%, never smokers about half of the cohort. And education level was pretty high, 39 or 40% had a university level education. So what we see here is carotid plaque area and quartiles of periodontal pockets. And so with greater with more participants with more periodontal pockets, the 25% that had the most periodontal pockets also had more carotid plaque area. So that's the y-axis here. Sorry about that. And the odds ratio of having carotid plaque, so we have different models here. We have the crude model, where the odds ratio for having carotid plaque was 2.5. And then we have model 1, which is age, adjusted for age, sex, smoking, education, blood pressure, fasting blood glucose levels, and LDL. And then we have model 2, which adjusts for model 1 plus blood pressure, medication, and statins. So in model 2, we still had a odds ratio for periodontitis patients, moderate or severe, of 1.75 for having any carotid plaque. And per periodontal pocket, more or equal to 4 millimeter, the beta in a linear regression model was 0.34, which is 0.34 square millimeters, which is maybe not something to write home about, but considering from the previous slide here, the participants that had the most periodontal pockets had on average 27, and when you multiply that, then you have carotid plaque of about 9 square millimeters when you are participant of one of those with the more periodontal pockets. So 9 square millimeters is, on the other hand, quite large. And this is a carotid plaque score and periodontal pockets. So the 0 here means that having no carotid plaque at all. 1 is having 1 small carotid plaque, which is smaller than 10 square millimeters. Group 2 is participants with several small carotid plaques. Number 3 is 1 big, large carotid plaque, which is greater than 10 square millimeters. And number 4, group 4, is 1 large and several small, and group 5 is several large carotid plaques. And as you can see, the participants of the groups with more larger and more frequent plaques also had more periodontal pockets. So the odds ratios of having I mean, this is compared to having no plaques, obviously. And this is only numbers for the model 2, which is adjusting for all the adjustments that we had. And in the groups with several carotid plaques, out of which at least 1 is large, had the biggest odds ratios. So for someone to have with periodontal disease to have a larger or at least 1 large carotid plaque was odds ratio of 3. So this was published in Journal of Internal Medicine. Has been published since the abstract was submitted to IADR. And the conclusion is that individuals with the highest quartile of periodontal pockets are expected to have 9 square millimeters larger total plaque area in their carotid compared to those without pockets. And intervention studies addressing periodontal disease could be useful for prevention of cardiovascular disease. So when you do these type of analysis or studies, using carotid plaque area has been proven to be better than to use intima media thickness, because it's easier to have an effect on the total area than on the intima media. Thank you very much for watching this video, and stay well, stay healthy, and keep your distance to other people. And I really hope that we get to see each other in person in 2021. Thank you. Bye.